Okay. Couldn't wait for the entire minute, sorry. Pura. So excited to talk about the auction. So yes, auction review is here. कल हम नहीं आ पाए because of certain issues. So let's not get into that. लेकिन today we'll make it more comprehensive than yesterday. और आज हर टीम वाइज हम लोग बात करेंगे. I have my Excel sheets ready. So I'll share that
Correct.
screen and we'll go through each team. Okay.
Hmm.
Uh, so yes.
Perfect.
या सो सही दिख रहा है ना सबको
Hmm.
यस यस
या थोड़ा और जूम इन कर लेते हैं
हल्का से जूम इन कर लो
ठीक है
ओके
यस सो चेन्नई से विल स्टार्ट विद चेन्नई
Hmm.
वी हैव सात्विक आल्सो हियर वेलकम सात्विक so
Thank you.
we'll start with your team now today and we'll go they are sorted according to the price that they have gotten okay so और साइड में जो है वो उनकी प्राइस जो मतलब टोटल जो कॉस्ट थी पर साइज है
Mhm.
So let's go and get into it. So their biggest buy, Deepak Char, 14
Correct.
crores, huge money. Then they got Ambati Raidu back. They got Dwayne Bravo back. They got Robin Uttappa, Mitchell Santner back, and KM Asif they got back. And apart from that, धोनी की टीम है तो बैलेंस तो है ही. There is no doubt in that. We also have Kunjan today. Kunjan, welcome to the stream. We will go team wise, Kunjan, and we are going to start with Chennai today. So yes, we'll go one by one. From Yashasvi, Vanshad, Satvik, and Kunjan is how I see it on my screen. So we'll go in that order. So Yashasvi, Chennai, how have they performed?
See, I'll tell you one thing. When I saw the team on day one yesterday, they had 10 players. So the 9 players, except Tushar Deshpande, were Chennai's players in the last season. And Tushar Deshpande, if nobody knows, Tushar Deshpande was the net bowler. Just like Mahesh Tikshana was also a net bowler for Chennai, and it was known, it was in the market that and Tikshana and Mr. Deshpande will come back to Chennai, will get a bid from Chennai, and honestly speaking, I was thinking Chennai to go a little more aggressive on Shah Rukh Khan, a little more aggressive on Shah Rukh Khan. No problem, that's fine. You don't get everybody you want. Very happy that they got Prashant Solanki. Devon Conway was a brilliant buy. Devon Conway. I'm not saying that he's a replacement for Faf du Plessis straight away. नहीं. लेकिन Faf du Plessis भी जब 2011 में खरीदाया था, he was a young man, and there is a very good statement by Faf du Plessis. When I was bought in 2011, I didn't have a family. Now I have a young kid and a family. So this actually said, how he grew as a person. And if you see Simarjeet Singh, fantastic. Simarjeet Singh has been given the reward of what he has done in domestic circuit. Fantastic buy. One good thing, I'll tell you, one good thing about this team was that they haven't forgotten the core values. you know Me and Vanshit were having a small talk that that थोड़ा सा बॉलिंग वीक लग रहा है. तो मैंने वंशज को यही बोला 2013-14 में, जब मोहित शर्मा, अंकित राजपूत ऐसे प्लेयर्स थे चेन्नई में, तो सबने यही बोला था सीएसके वेंट ऑन टू गो टू द फाइनल्स ऑफ 2013. They had Dhoni knows who he wants. Dwayne Pretorius, brilliant. Dhoni has bought what he wanted. He has brought in a good team. Prashant Solanki, I'll just point out few more names. प्रशांत सोलंकी, शुभ्रांशु सेनापति, मुकेश चौधरी और शुभ्रांशु सेनापति बहुत लोग जानते नहीं है, but these guys are fantastic cricketers. Shubhranshu Senapati plays for Odisha. What I've heard, that he was also called by MI for this trials. MI को पसंद नहीं आया, and over there maybe the CSK scouts thought good guy ले लेते हैं, फायदा मिलेगा, experience मिलेगा. So maybe Shubhranshu Senapati can open the innings, young, 25 years old, same age. So I think good team all in all. I'm just hoping they buy one more player, and Adam Mill, the way they got Adam Mill also was fantastic. I think Adam Mill is in Chennai, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, Adam Mill, fantastic. They've covered all their bases. Just maybe एक leg spinner कहीं से आ जाए, वो अच्छा होगा. And I'm so sorry, I forgot Rajvardhan Hangargekar. I'm so happy with Hangargekar coming to Chennai. It's going to help him. I don't know how many games MS will give him, but as far as I understand MS, MS will give him some run. Give him quite a few games. 2-3 match to milne wale, that is given on paper. So good team all in all, good team. Let's see how it goes about. So they should be happy with the options they had.
Okay. Moving on to Vanshaj, I'll just add Adam Mill to the list, but by then, Vanshaj, yes, over to you.
Okay, so yesterday when day one was over, many CSK fans texted me and they were like, क्या हो रहा है ये थोड़ा तो बिट करो कुछ सबको तो मतलब कुछ प्लेयर्स को तो लो लेकिन आई वाज लाइक सी दिस इज धोनी वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस इज सीएसके वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इवन इफ यू थिंक कि राइट नाउ प्लेयर्स कम पड़ रहे हैं ही विल हैव सम प्लान and that happened on day two. Day one, I won't deny, I had some doubts too of myself. Ki what are their plans? What is the agenda for their this year's auction? But coming to day two, the side looks balanced. And till Adam Mill and Dwayne Pretorius were added to the squad, यशस्वी ने जैसा बोला उससे मेरी बात हो रही थी. I was like कि with all due respect to Dwayne Bravo's legacy, उसका age हो गया है and we are not sure if Dwayne Bravo will play all 14 games. It's not a surety till now. So considering that, if they have brought in Adam Milne and Dwayne Pretorius, very good. And Shivam Dube, by buying Shivam Dube, I think they are again doing that. We have talked about it. Ki out of form players le lete CSK and they are just back into good touch. So all in all, CSK, I won't say good. I would say average, but we all know CSK suffices with average. They go on to win tournaments with average teams. So yeah.
Yeah, so before going to Satvik, एक overall summary अगर देखें by very basic numbers, they have 21 slots filled and they still have 7.15 crores left. So all the players that you see from maybe cell number 12 onward, like from below Robin Uthappa,
Yeah.
those are very good buys. Because Mitchell Santner, Adam Mill,
Yeah.
all these Devon Conway, even Dwayne
Devon
Pretorius,
Conway is
these are
good.
people, overseas players that you have gotten for like what you could have gotten it for much more, but you have
Yeah.
managed to get
And
it for
one more
much
point
lesser
regarding
than.
the spinners, जो यशस्वी ने कहा कि they have not gone for a leg spinner. We have known Dhoni and CSK to not generally go for a leg spinner. Last year too, they sufficed with Jadeja and Moeen Ali, and that was enough for them to form a very good spin attack, I would say. So yeah.
Yes, Satvik.
So for me, I'd like to start by saying that Devon Conway is the steal of this auction. I must say that I thought he would sell for more. I thought Vander Dusen would sell for more as well, but he got unsold. Of course, he might come in later. But Conway for 1 crore, I personally wanted him at CSK, and that happened. So I'm really glad that that happened. That was like one target. That is because if you look at the top seven that CSK had last season, they had a very decent run with the bat. Two very good openers up front. There was a Moin Ali in the middle who was great, and then Ambati Rayudu and Jadeja at the end who could score runs. So in the top seven, only Dhoni and Rana were lacking. Right, Dhoni got better in the end, but that was let's be honest about it. Those were just 6 deliveries against Delhi Capitals. Right, Rana was out of form. So I won't see Devon Conway as a replacement for Faf, but I see him as a good player in the middle in place of Rana. And if you look at his stats of Devon Conway in the middle order when he plays for New Zealand or any other team, they're incredible. Even in the last year's T20 World Cup, at number 4, he was stable. He was incredible in that position. Great buy. Hangar Kekar is another good buy. I think he can hit the ball hard. He's a strong man for a 19-year-old. He can hit the ball hard. He bowls to an extent of 140 if he has to. So he's a good buy that way. He could come at number 8 if he has to. Pretorius is, of course, basically a second option to Dwayne Bravo. Otherwise, spin wise, also, if you look at Tiksana, he moves the ball away from the batsman, away from a right hander, gets the ball into a left hander. An unexplored option, to be really honest. So it's a great buy. I must say that KKR was going for him at some stage. So I thought this might go up a one. That didn't happen. So he's a good buy. He's played in Abu Dhabi. What is that called? A T10, right? He's played in T10. He's played in Lanka Premier League. He's just coming up,
Yeah.
and I think it's a good buy. CSK does this. CSK, in hindsight, you can say Nigidi is a good player now. Hazelwood are good. He's a good player now. But CSK buys player who are not of general interest, to be honest. They pick them up from a basic scouting, and they know that these players, they don't have to be flashy. They just have to fulfill basic requirements and specialized needs that we have. So overall, a good auction. To be honest, I am not sure if we have that opener slot filled yet. If Devon Conway is going to play there, probably that's why Dubé has been bought so that he could play a finisher or a floater in the team. But probably when once we get into the next round, as far as the auction are concerned, we haven't gone through the unsold list yet. There are a few players who could open the bat if they have to, but I think that's the only gap we are seeing. I think spin is done, pace is done. Pace is great. I don't have any complaints with pace.
Satvik,
It's just the
sorry to
opener
cut
slot.
you. Sorry to
Yeah,
cut you, but I'm really interested if CSK goes for Aaron Finch. I
I was
think
thinking.
yes. I have a very good feeling. I have a very good feeling because I was thinking, because see, you're looking for somebody who can help MS, and MS likes those players. MS, we know he steals captains. So maybe
Yeah.
Aaron Finch. Nobody is going to bid for him. Believe it. Nobody is going to bid for him in the unsold. Maybe you have the money. You have one overseas player. उठा दो, क्या जाता है, तुम्हारा कुछ नहीं जा रहा है. You get an
I was
experienced
thinking
player.
Chris Lynn. I was thinking Chris Lynn or an Even Lewis. Even
Hmm.
Lewis is unsold, by the way. I don't think he's bought by any
Yeah,
team.
yeah. Even Lewis is unsold as of now.
There is a
Yeah,
certain Tim
yeah.
Seifert also.
Yes. So, I mean, Tim Seifert is New Zealand. So there's a Kiwi relation. You can see it with Santner and Adam
Hmm.
Min, right? They
They
haven't
have
gone for
three.
Nigri
They have
either.
three Kiwis. They have three Kiwis at the
Yeah.
moment. They have
Yeah. So
Conway,
that,
Mill,
that
and
tells you.
Santner.
Ron Conway is a Kiwi as well. So you understand the connection here. These are players you have an idea of. I think opener wise, they might play Raidu as well as an opener. So then they're looking at a
Raidu is an
Vander Dusen.
option.
I was
Uthappa is
surprised
also
no
an
one went
option.
for Vander
Uthappa is
Dusen.
also an option.
Uttappa is an option, but I think I was listening to Harsha Bogle yesterday in one of his Crick Bus videos, and he had mentioned that Robin Uttappa. There's a reason he is probably his legs are not that fresh as they used to be against swing ball. That's the reason why he struggled against Rajasthan. Also, there was an innings, and now when I think about it, in 2020 when he was with Rajasthan, there was a period where Ben Stokes played 30 deliveries of the power play, and Uttappa had played just six.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So
Yes.
his strike
It was against
rotation is
SRH.
also a concern. Strike rotation is a concern. He will come handy, but CSK may not put him in the playing 11 as such. That's my belief. That's my
And
thinking
there's
for
one
now.
more thing. There's one more thing. We are talking about Ambati Raidu, Robin Uthappa as keepers as well. CSK do not have a keeper. CSK do not have a replacement for MS Dhoni. Long run replacement. I think with Jagdishan in the unsold, Jagdish, very
Yeah,
surprised. Three players. I thought
he really did.
three local boys of Tamil Nadu. Sai Sudarshan, Hari Nishant, and
Hari
Jagdish.
Nishan.
I felt they should have just race kar do. But yeah, this is
I think they'll go
understandable.
for him now. I think they'll go for because Jagdishan has an incredible record in TNPL and for Tamil Nadu in Saeed Mushtaq. Hari Nishant is a phenomenal opener. I thought you would, grab interest from different teams because if Sai Kishore could, and these are three players: Sai Kishore, Hari Nishant, and Jagdishan, who've been
Correct.
incredible for Tamil Nadu. So if Sai Kishore could garner 3 crores, I thought probably a C Hari Nishant or a Jagdishan could as well. So I think during the unsold list, whenever it comes up, probably they'll pop up and CSK would show interest again.
Okay. So we have talked a lot about CSK already. So Kunjan, anything you would like to add, or we can move on to the next team?
I think I'll just sum it up like how day one they did seem less aggressive CSK, and it really felt like they are going to be the victim of inflated price because by the time they bought Deepak Chahar, I think there was some sort of concerns raised over how they're going to fill the squad. But I think day two they turned out to be really good. I think like Satvik and everyone mentioned that Devon has been the steal. I felt like Devon was going to be someone who's not going to be sold at 1 crore. I thought he was going to go above. And I also feel like they actually did cover up in the spin sector. And I think I do have this gut feeling that they might go for NDD again. I do feel like, because with the money they have in the pocket right now, I do feel they will go for that one surprise bet, because I think MS somewhere is still thinking about that bowling lineup and saying, do we have that fast bowler with us who can actually grab those wickets? Because I think the Deepak Chahar, maybe the price did sort of change the strategy a bit, but I think bar that, again, I do think so. Hari Nishant should be in a CSK jersey. I do feel, because if he isn't, then I think I'm going to be very surprised with the way CSK has been doing. But overall, I think it seems good. Yes, the bowling department, the spin, people might say that, okay, questioning, but I do believe MS has got his squad. Like, if you ask him yesterday, he would be more nervous, but by the end of today, I think he will be more like, okay, it's suffice for me, and I think this will guarantee a top four finish for them.
Okay, that would be an early prediction on an early say, but okay, let's go ahead.
Mumbai fans will definitely say that. Mumbai fans will say that any day. They don't want to listen to anything good about CSK.
But on an auction table, if you see after two games, you tell me you have two wins, and then you tell me that yeah we have a settled squad, then I'll take it.
Of course, I
But
was just pulling your leg. I was just pulling your leg. I understand.
uh,
But no, I think now when
so
I think about it, CSK will need only two more players. I don't think they're going for Rana. They'll probably look for a foreign batsman who can bat as an opener, and probably Adam Zampa or a Shamsi, because they have the money again. So just to have that one player
They
here
have the
and
money. They have the money, but they only have one overseas spot left. So a lot of things are there. MS will manage. MS is
so they have
somebody who
six
will.
foreigners, right? Right now
The
they have
seven.
six foreigners
We
in
have
total.
managed seven. CSK has done seven.
How? We have
Wait,
Conway.
Conway, Tikshana, Mill, Moin Ali, Mitchell Santner, Dwayne Bravo, Dwayne Pretorius. Seven.
Okay, so we have seven. So we have just one. So probably no spinner as such. Probably they'll settle for a.
For a batter, yes.
It's tricky. It's tricky. But I
It's
think
tricky.
Moin Ali Jadeja should be fine.
With that man has experience. He has captained CSK for 15 seasons. He knows what he
Yeah.
is doing. We don't have to worry about it.
yes, from not worrying about anything, let's go to a team that was definitely worried after yesterday. Uh, Entire afternoon, just one pick, and that is the most expensive player of the auction this year. That's ईशान किशन. इसलिए वो बोल्ड में है और कैप्स में है, क्योंकि it was a very very big buy. Straight up second most expensive player for Mumbai right now after Rohit Sharma. And I don't know, Tim David पता नहीं ओवर प्राइज्ड है या सही है पता नहीं. I know a lot of people are talking about his potential and what he'll bring to the table. He can be the one who accompanies Kyron Pollard in the middle and then hits big and all that. So yeah, Jofra Archer currently a dead asset, but when you think of it, इस साल अगर वो नहीं खेल रहा है तो this year MI can pull out any unsold player and get him to the squad as a replacement. And then next year onwards, you have Jofra Archer bowling from one end and Jasprit Bumrah bowling from the other. So you need to manage for 1 year. You get a replacement, someone like maybe a Mohammad Nabi if he is not picked by anyone. So you get a very good quality all rounder instead of Jofra Archer this year. I don't know.
Prasham, just
Yeah.
one thing. MI are not allowed. MI are not allowed a replacement for Jofra Archer this year. MI have to play with whatever they have. Then they won't be allowed a replacement. They have been
Okay.
told in clear words by BCCI.
Okay. So okay, let's drop that idea right now. Apart from that, they have gone for Dewald Brevis. We had briefly
Correct.
talked about it day before yesterday, junior ABD and all that. Uh, तो ठीक है देखते हैं what he'll do. He'll get a run, I think. He'll get a few games to play. Then we have Daniel Sams. Uh, oh, मतलब I did not expect MI to go after Daniel Sams or Timal Mills, but they have some strategy. Towards this, like today after lunch, they have been very aggressive in their bidding. They definitely wanted Jofra Archer, so everyone was asking in every break कि मुंबई किसके लिए रुका है. What are they waiting for? All the good players are gone. All the marquee players are gone. What are they waiting for? What is the player they are waiting for? I was also a bit surprised at how they were bailing out of bidding wars. They went to a certain point and then they stopped bidding for every player that they bid for. Even Yuzvendra Chahal, I thought that they should have gone all out for Yuzvendra Chahal, but They had their eyes set on Jofra Archer. They went for it. Jaydev Unadkat, पता नहीं, left-handed bowler, you wanted him, you got him, okay. Mayank Markande is a good buy, I think. And Basil Thampi, okay. They have gone for Riley Meredith. Now, I'm not sure what's the logic behind going for Riley Meredith after going for Daniel Sams and Tymal Mills. I really don't know. And Daniel Sams is your death bowler along with Jasprit Bumrah. Currently, I think he's ahead of Tymal Mills in the pecking order. Yashasvi does not agree. Okay, I'll throw it open to Yashasvi then. Go ahead.
See, if you see MI and being a scout myself, when I see this team, I'm like, bhai, scout's dream. Because when a scout scouts a young team, when he's told, like I am told by a team that Yashasvi, we want a team which has youngsters. I say this team is very good because in my list as well, I had Tilak Verma, and I'm so happy. I'm really happy that Verma has gone for the money he's gone for. Tilak Verma played for India in 2020 Under 19 World Cup. Fantastic cricketer. He is somebody who is going to give you, is going to be there for a long time. You're going to hear this name for a long time. Tilak Verma. Now, if you see why I said Timal Mills is better than Daniel Sams comes here. Timal Mills will be a partner for Jasprit Bumrah. In the death, Timal Mills and Jasprit Bumrah will be very economical. They'll be conjuice. The word conjuice comes, miser comes, these guys will be that. Because Timal Mills has a slower one, he has a quicker one. His quicker goes to 145 and slower one is at 94. This is his pace. So he has the variety in him. And Daniel Sams, okay, I understand he has been, highest wicket taker here, there, that. Okay, I understand his performance with Sydney Thunders has been fantastic. So that's good. And again, Tim David, I think थोड़ा overpriced है, but ठीक है, because long run में if you see, this team is not looking for 2022. That team is looking for 23 and onwards. Remember when the mega auction happened in 2018, they had the same thing. 2018 there was some mistakes there, and similarly in 2019 there came Mr. Trent Bolt. That happened, 2 titles in a row. This is what MI can do, and beware of what MI will bring on the table because they have good players. Be aware of Muhammad Arshad Khan as well. Fantastic bowler this boy is. Not many people know, but he's a fantastic pick. Sanjay Yadav is a brilliant all-rounder. Sanjay Yadav has played so much cricket. He has played a little in TNPL, has played here, there, everywhere. He has the experience. Was with SRH for a couple of years. So Basil Thump and Jaydev Unadkat, what I felt were Rohit Sharma's picks, because when he captained India in Nidahasa Trophy, these two were there, and he loved Jaydev Unadkat. We know how much MS and Rohit Sharma love Jaydev Unadkat and the way they use him. So Jaydev Unadkat, I feel, is a very good pick. And given what has gone around Jaydev Unadkat in the past 2-3 months, I think so. This is a good pick.
If I
Okay.
could
And
again.
yeah, yeah, yes, Satvik, go ahead.
So my only concern is that Tymal Mills is injury prone, right? So that is one concern that I feel is a major concern. I felt Mumbai Indians have good names, but these are also a result of panic buys. A very panic thinking resulted into these purchases. I wouldn't have thought of them going for Jaydev Unadkat. Plus, I think they had to go for Murugan Ashwin and Mayank Markande because the spin department seemed lacking. So they had to go for someone, and that is my understanding. The second thing is this team looks very bowling heavy. As far as the batting is concerned, I understand you have Rohit Sharma, Ishan Kishan, Surya Kumar Yadav, and whatnot. But I still feel that a few options with the amount of money that they're left with, I'm not so sure if they can fill those void. But I still feel a batsman or two from the unsold list, if they could, even if they can go for Suresh Raina. But I think having few other names in the batting department would just help for them, because this team otherwise is very, you have options, plenty of options of bowling. I don't understand why, because you were bowling heavy anyway. You would have gone for Bumrah, you would have gone for one or two bowlers here and there. So that's my understanding. Probably one or two batsmen in the unsold list, and they can fill it up.
Satvik, they have always been bowling heavy. If you see when the past 2, 3, 4 years, how much ever you want to see, they only had one Indian backup batsman, opener. If you see, that was Siddesh Lad, and then you had Anmol Preet Singh here. Maybe if they want to go, no, if they want to buy somebody now in the unsold, they might go for a Karun Nair maybe. Karun Nair might come at a base price 75 lakhs. You might buy it. I was very surprised they didn't go for Saurabh Tiwari. Saurabh Tiwari is someone who you have backed. He's performed whenever got an opportunity. He scored 45, 50 at a pace which was required. So, and only one backup they have in batting, that is N. Tilak Verma, but one more would have been fantastic.
Could they have gone for Anmol Preet Singh again? Like no one bid for him, so maybe at 20 lakhs, that could have been a not a bargain, but yeah, it could have been a backup.
Anmol hasn't been in a very good touch. Anmol has not been in a good touch. That is why I think it was right. Same goes with other players as well. There were certain players who were not in good touch. So, Anmol Preet would have been a wrong buy. If in case you would have needed him, so it wouldn't have helped.
Okay, okay. So, okay, let's just one last question. Anukul Roy, I thought they'll go for Anukul Roy, and Anukul Roy anyway did not go for much money. It was just one bid from KKR and he was sold. So he could have been a great option. And yes, I kind of agree with Satvik when he says that it is a very bowling heavy side. And the reason I say that is because we only have Ishan Kishan, Rohit Sharma, Surya Kumar Yadav, and now maybe Kyron Pollard, who are just batters. Others can bat. There are many who can bat. There are a lot of all-rounders here, but there are no pure batsmen. In T20, you might get away with it, but it is the case where in the last 2 years, whenever we talk about RCB before an IPL tournament starting, most of my panelists say that RCB में तो all-rounder ज़्यादा है, batsman बहुत कम. So that is the case right now with Mumbai Indians. They can certainly fit it with a couple of more batsmen who like capped, uncapped, that you can decide. Like 1.5 crores for someone like an Aaron Finch or something. I don't know Aaron Finch where he fits in, but somewhere on those lines. You get it, like 1 crore, 1.5 crore. ऐसे कोई players अगर मिल जाए जो जिसका base price I'm talking 1 crore. So if you are talking about a 1 crore player, he's a pedigree player. That's why he's at 1 crore. So it's something like that. Anyone, any name, but you get pure batsmen, a couple of them in, and that gives you a lot of sense of satisfaction कि हाँ सब bases covered है. So yeah, but Mumbai, I do not agree that when it comes to panic buys, because so this was one point that was taken up by the experts as well on TV, that they were looking for Jofra Archer, and when you look at Jofra Archer, so your entire auction strategy is what comes after Jofra Archer in the auction list. So that's why you go for Tim David so big. That's why you go for Daniel Sam so big. Otherwise they would not have gone for these players so big, क्योंकि जॉफरा आर्चर के बाद ये प्लेयर्स आएंगे. उसके पहले के प्लेयर्स में तो हमको इंटरेस्ट नहीं दिखा सकते हम, क्योंकि हमको जॉफरा आर्चर के लिए इतना बड़ा जाना है. So I think that was the strategy. Today before lunch we were still very skeptical with what Mumbai was doing, and was it Mumbai's bad days these 2 days? Mumbai has been very good in the auction, but is this the time where everyone has caught them napping? But now if you look at them, they have a very good side building. We'll quickly move on to the next slide. I'll come to Vanshaj and Kunjan for DC now. So when we talk about DC, they have filled in 21 slots. They are a team with 4.5 crores left. Shardul Thakur being their biggest buy. So I'll go with Vanshaj. Vanshaj, how happy are you with this side? With Shardul Thakur especially?
If you ask me, the best team at the auction this year, I would say Delhi Capitals, without any doubt. I'm putting my neck out there and just telling this. Because they have filled all the bases. If you see a squad and if you see the requirement point of view, they have that. Of course, David Warner will be a purchase which would have made every DC fan happy. Because the opening combination of Shaw and Warner does give you much confidence, and everyone was thinking if not Shikhar Dhawan, if Shikhar Dhawan मतलब अगर तुम्हारे हाथ से जाता भी है, तो there will be a big responsibility for someone who comes into his place. And Warner, as we all know, I just hope he just regains his IPL form at Delhi Capitals. And all in all, very good buys. I'm very happy with the purchase of KS Bharat, because I was expecting RCB to back him and take him back, but the way Delhi has taken KS Bharat has been exceptional. Very good buy. I just hope they show more faith on him and just include him in the playing 11, because he has been a discovery basically of RCB. Uh, and we were talking about Kuldeep Yadav, where Kuldeep Yadav will go, and I think Prasham had just made the suggestion that DC might take him, and that happened. So Kuldeep Yadav and Akshar Patel will be an interesting spin duo to look out for. If Kuldeep is being taken into the playing 11, which I think he will, Chetan Sakaria again a very good buy. So the list of 21 players, if you see, every one of them are giving you something in the name of contribution. So that makes DC a very commendable side this year, and I'm sure they will make the playoff this year. I'm just saying this. Yeah.
Yeah, and before I go to Kunjan, just one sentence I would like to add कि अभी तक हमने जो दो टीम्स देखे, there are a lot of unknown commodities, like Yashasvi pointed out. Okay, if you look at Delhi, they have been the one of the most active sides at the auction. They are bidding on everybody. They might bail out on many, but they have bid on many players more than this. So in the 21 players that you see right now, for an average cricket fan who is not very deep into the domestic circuit right now, like for like someone like me, I'm not very deep into the domestic circuit, so these unknown commodities I don't know anything about. I need to google them up. But here, all 21 names I have at least heard once. And despite that, when you already have 21 names in your site and you still have 4.5 crores and you still had your best buy or the biggest buy at 10.75 crores, it is a great site that they've built with much lesser money than anyone would have expected. They have spent a lot less than they should have for these names. Yes, Kunjan.
I think, Prashant, you just summed it up, because how Delhi exactly started was going in price wars. They were aggressive. I think that was something which I was expecting from MI as well initially, but they didn't do it. But Delhi went bat in, and they did seem confident in their bidding as well. So that maybe could have caused some inflate and war as well. But I think after Shardul Thakur, they were like, okay, we are gonna go for the strategy pick, which I think David Warner for 6.25. Again, it might seem like a bit pricey, but David Warner is an experienced one. I think out of all the foreign players after ABD and Fab, David Warner is someone who is on his day he can actually be very good at. And I think bar that Kuldeep Yadav, Mustafizur Rahman, I think Nagarkoti as well. These all have been not maybe the marquee signings, but the dependables. For example, they might get the squad depth with these signings as well. And Praveen Dubey again has to be the standout one, and I think Mitchell Marsh as well. Mitchell Marsh had a great last season, and I was surprised that he might could have gone for big, but Delhi did seem to get a steal in it, and I do feel they came in with a strategy, and I think they have got what they wanted. Even though it might feel like for Shardul, they might have paid him, but I think Shardul is going to be the marquee signing. But bar that, you have Mitchell Marsh, you have Ornich as well, you also have Chetan Sakaria, you have Powell as well. So I think they are one of those who knew they made the shoot signings.
Right. Yes. And Yashasvi, just coming to you for just that one player, Ashwin Hebar. Talk us through it.
I'll tell you, when I was doing the scouting part, we were interested in Hebar. We had this name in mind. I was very excited. When I had seen him playing for Andhra, I was like, bhai, dum hai. Good opener, good batsman. He hits the ball very cleanly. He uses his feet very well against the spinner. This is one thing about Ashwin Hebbar. I felt that RCB could have gone for him. RCB could have hit one or two there, but you can't do much. So very happy that he got a bid. Players like him deserve the bid. He's worked hard he's worked hard for the team. He's worked hard. Good stuff. Very happy. And if you ask me one thing about this squad, I'm very happy, with Mitch Marsh, David Warner coming in, because this, you can see Ricky Ponting has had his word here. He wanted these guys and he's got it. So fantastic, thumbs up to Delhi. Delhi have done well.
Yes, yes, Vanshaj, go ahead.
One last point, I am also really happy the way DC have, taken back Ripal Patel, Lalit Yadav, and Praveen Dubey. That shows that even if there is a mega auction, we will bank on you if that the need arises, and we won't just throw you out in the throw you out for the wolves. So that gesture by DC was really heartwarming, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and that came into action only because you got others for that price
Yes.
that you got them for.
Yes.
Otherwise, there was no chance that all three of them were coming back to you.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but the fact that they bid it for them, just that gesture itself was
yeah,
really
yeah,
good to see. Yeah. Yeah.
yes, yes. Let's go to RCB, and I'll come to Satwik for this one. Uh, 18 players so far with 5 crores left still. Where are they going?
What I really like is the number of foreign picks that they have. They are top class. They've spent. You could say they spent a lot on Hazaranga and Harshal Patel, but in the you consider the dynamics of auction, you would give them a freebie. You understand that the prices were bound to go up. uh, as far as the leadership is concerned, that is still a question. But we weren't sure if they were going to this auction for looking for a captain. But with Maxwell, Kohli, and Siraj as your retainees, that was pretty clear that they were looking for a captain. So probably Duplessis. Somewhere I read that they were looking at Josh Hazelwood as well. So that is going to be very strange if they do so. I don't know if they would. That will be very, very strange. But otherwise, I think I say this every time after every auction that RCB sits through, that they cover departments. Dinesh Karthik, without being a captain, not thinking about the fact that he was once a captain, now he's not a captain. He's coming into this team with very specific role, coming at number 5, number 6. Unlike in KK where he was batting in the same position, but there was always a pressure with Russell around you and other players around you. Here it's going to be different. He's going to be more free. So I think Dinesh Karthik getting for 5.5, I think it's a decent buy. There's Josh Hazelwood too. That's another good purchase. They needed pacer who's economical, who could give you good overs at the beginning. Now that they have Siraj and Josh Hazelwood, it's a good combination. I am a huge fan of Jason Behrendorff and what he's done with Perth in BBL. So that's again a good purchase. This team fits well. I feel it's a good team. They have 7 foreigners, so it's a good combination overall with Finn Allen. So all departments covered. Anuj Rawat again a good purchase. I do not think that they're left out with a certain gap. Now they can't look for a captain. I don't think they have any option in the unsold list, to be really honest. So they'll have to go through the players that they have at hand. So overall, it's a good side. Openers are there. They should have gone for Particle if they could have. They haven't gone for Particle. I wish they had, because Particle could have been a wonderful investment for future as well. He's just 21 years old, so it would have done a lot better for RCB if they had. But overall, a good show, and then there are not many complaints, to be honest.
Okay, yes, Kunjan.
I think I'll just add a quick point that last season RCB's, or for the last 2 3 seasons, RCB's weakness has been the middle order. What if ABD and Virat collapse? Then the batting lineup is more like, okay, now it's gonna be soon collapse. But I think this year they focused on that. They made sure that if ABD is going, they got in Fab, who's actually very reliable, and he actually can start off the innings as well. We have seen him play for CSK, and he can play at number 3, number 4 as well. And I think they have actually covered with Indian batsmen. I think that's what I really like. That they covered the entire middle order with Indian batsmen, with Dinesh Karthik coming with experience. I think Dinesh Karthik this season will feel more free, or will be more freedom. Will be given more freedom that okay, you can actually come in and slot. Like Satvik said, at KKR he had that pressure, but he's going to play now pressure free. And I think Rutherford and Jason has been again they have been the steal signings as well. Like people might argue that okay, they paid Hasaranga and Patel a lot more than they expected, but I think somewhere in Rutherford and then I think in Suyash and Finn Allen and Jason, they actually got some steal signings which will cover them the backup, and I think this season they look strong. So they have covered the weakness which they have been facing for 2 3 years with the Indian middle order strong batting lineup.
I think
Yeah,
someone to look
just to
forward to is
some.
Chama Milind. I'm so sorry, but I thought Chama Milind is a steal as well. If I'm pronouncing his name right, but
Yeah,
you
yeah,
look
yeah.
at his
You're
stats.
pronouncing it right. Chama Milind.
His
Yes.
stats are great. I mean, I think we had discussed him in one of
Yes,
our
yes.
previous conversations
Hmm.
as well. Chama Milan and Ashwin Hebbar were both discussed in the same breath. So it's good to see Chama Milan was bought at 25. So that tells you they went for just two bids and they got him.
He has
But
been
that's a
part
good
of
buy as well.
Hyderabad and Delhi Daredevils earlier,
Correct,
but wasn't
correct.
given a chance. But considering his performance in the latest SMAT, he was a top wicket taker. So maybe that stat
Hmm.
can come to his help and just give him the chance he deserves.
Prasham, the way you have kept the last four names, we also had the four names set like this when we were doing this scouting. Shreyas Prabhu Desai, Akashdeep were with RCB last year. They have bought back, very good. Anishwar Gautam, under 19 player, fantastic. He got injured, hence that is why Manav Parak had to come in to fill his place. But Chama Milind, brilliant. Yeah, this is one of the best buys for RCB. Like Satvik said, and Vansat said, Chama Milind had to be there. Chama Milind has done a lot of things right in domestic cricket. If you talk about Chama Milind in domestic cricket, he's like Bhishma Pitama of domestic cricket. He's been playing for so long. I have been hearing his name since when I was in school. So Chama Milind is
He
one
has
of
been
those guys.
Hyderabad's darling.
Yeah, Hyderabad is darling. And one thing about Hyderabad, there's one thing about Hyderabad cricketers, they create darlings. Starting you go way back to 1970s, you go way back to ML Jaisimha's time, you come now also. They make darling cricketers. So this one very good buy. Like everybody has told Berendorf, so I still say it's a great buy. I felt one thing they should have gone for Devdutt Padikkal, a little push, but that is fine. They know what they were doing, the right thing they have done. It's all fine. RCB look good because I have to be a little biased to RCB because they're paying me. Uh, they're paying me. I can't do much. I can't say what is wrong. I don't want to say what is wrong on live YouTube. So, I feel they have done well. They have listened to me. They didn't listen to me properly, but have listened to me. But yeah, it's all good. It's all well.
Yeah, just to sum it up in a very small thing. So they have their top order sorted with Faf to Plessis added to the mix. Then you have, if you keep Glenn Maxwell at three, if you don't keep it at three, keep him at four. You have Manipal Lomror who could come in at three. Then you have go for Glenn Maxwell. Then you have Dinesh Karthik. Then you have Shahbaz Ahmed. And then once your all-rounders start, the all-rounders can run so deep. You have Hasaranga who can bat, who can bowl. You have Harshal Patel who can bat, who can bowl. You have
Sheriff
Stephen
and Rutherford.
Rutherford can
Yeah.
who can bat, who can
Yes.
bowl. And then you go to your bowlers where there is Berendorf or Chama Millen and Siraj. So a very good core, very good side that they have built, and it is a very young side as well. Not a very old side. You only have Faf who might go out after a couple of seasons or 3 seasons. Dinesh Karthik can be in the same lines. So yeah, apart from those 2 3 players, you don't need to worry about for, let's say, the next 6 7 years. If these guys perform for you, you are set for the next 6 7 years. So yes, it's been great job done here, and let's move on to the next team.
Thank you. Thank
Uh,
you. I'll take that. I'll take that. Thank you.
yes, so we'll go to KKR. I'll just add a few names if they have bought any. Till then, any one of you would like to take it up?
Well, all I can say is they had no strategy. It's real. They came in and they were like, we need a captain, we need a replacement of Deacon. That's it. That's it. Get a replacement of Deacon, inshallah. But that didn't work, and I think they did think that okay, we are gonna sign Natranjan and then we might get Mavi as well, but they lost on that, and I don't know what their strategy was. I would be very keen to hear from the others what their strategy was. But I think so. Getting again, Shreyas Iyer was a great choice because they needed that stability. It was an aging squad. It didn't work. They're trying to do the CSK tactic of making sure that they'll have some experience, but it didn't work. And again, I can't fathom how much pressure again Andre Russell would have. Pat Cummings and Nitish Rana again, they are good by, but again, I don't know. Ajinkya Rahane, I do see him only as a backup. I still think What's their opening pair like? I still don't know. Who are their hard hitters bar Russell? Is it going to be again Nareen? Because Nareen is again on his day is going to do good, but on his when he's not good, he's not good at all.
I
Yes.
think their strategy was very similar to what they did in 2018 also. 2018 also they went in, they spent on a few players, and they completely stopped. They stopped at 18 players. They were very silent. They would come in every 15-20 minutes, unlike other teams which are working hard. KKR's strategy was they'll have just a minimum set of players, and somehow it did work for them. They had a lot of youngsters. I think they bought Gill, Nagarkoti, and Mavi. All three of them, all three under 19 players were bought at the same auctions. But somehow it worked for them. I think they finished third that season. But the problems started arising after that. I think they were trying to do that itself. They thought they would focus on few key players and they would settle on those players only. So that these players are these players are individuals you're expecting 14 games out of. So they are sure selected for the 14 games, and then you can buy one or two players here and there for backup. But you are right. Going into the last leg of the auction, this is the unsold list, which should not even be the criteria for you to look for players in the first place. Should be done by now. They don't have any opener. They have Rinku Singh. All of a sudden, when you look at Rinku Singh, you think now he might just get few more chances in the middle order than he used to in the past. But then, if he was never a proven customer in your side, why you're getting him back again? So there are a lot of gaps that KKR is presenting right now, in terms of all departments for that matter. I can't sit on one center and say that this is where they're lacking. It's literally almost every area except probably spin, because they were more or less covered there with Chakravarti and Iyer being Chakravarti and Narayan being retained beforehand. So they got Anukul Roy, who's pretty underrated. So three spinners, probably there's one more if I'm not wrong in the set. Probably, or maybe there were just three spinners. So there's a lot of lack. There's a lot that lacks in terms of having that opener and having another strong middle order contender.
Yeah, and apart from that, they do not have a wicket keeper. There is Sheldon Jackson, but if Sheldon Jackson isn't your first choice, then you are still out on for a wicket keeper. So that is one thing. And apart from that, yeah, as Satvik said, they will now look at the unsold list. And now, if we go to Delhi, who have bought in Nagarkoti, they have bought in for 1.1 crores,
Correct.
and they have paid 7.25 for Shivam Mal.
No,
So
there's a
these were,
reason, Prasham, there's a reason why Mavi has got 7.25 and why this guy has got, Nagarkoti has got 1.1. So, sorry, Mavi was getting from 3-4 teams. And if you see the last few games where Mavi played for KKR in the last season, he was good. And when you have a player, you want to go with him. He's performed well for you. He's performed well in situation scenarios. He's a good death bowler. He starts well. He bowls 2 overs in the start. He can bowl 1 over in the start, bowl 1 over in the middle. He can bowl 2 overs in the death. So why not? And he can bat little. He can use the long handle. So why not pay 7.25? So that I felt Mavi ओवर प्राइस था ठीक है उतना भी नहीं जाना चाहिए था लेकिन हाँ ठीक है if you're going you are looking him for the next 5-6 years that means because he still is I think how much he would be 2018 so he must be around 21 22 so he still has age on his side and
agreed,
if you
agreed.
see
But
huh
Mavi is your eighth buy. Okay, you have already spent so much on Nitish Rana. You have spent so much on Pat Cummins and Shreyas Iyer. And then if you look at your purse, you need to look at the total purse that you have. I agree, he'll be a good buy. He'll play for you for the next 5-6 years. But after that, you have depleted your purse so much that you have nothing left. You are going for absolutely nothing. And the the one place where they were saved, okay, by Sunrisers, I think, was Nicholas Puran.
Nicholas Puran
They
Nicholas
were
Puran
giving away 10 crores to Nicholas Puran when they only had 20 crores in their kitty left.
correct now let me tell you this. If we see, Satvik mentioned 2018 as well. 2018, same number of players were bought, 18. And if you see that, I'm not saying this team is good. I'm saying that team was better. They had that 11 players fixed, and I still
Yeah.
remember Harsha Bogle has said this. If that 11 plays, and that 11 is fit for the 14 games. This team will go all the way, and it went. It was third. So that is it. Do they have 11? That is very important. Do they have that 11? No, they don't. Nothing going. But if you see, they tried getting certain players. They tried getting Chamika Karunaratne. Chamika Karunaratne is a good Sri Lankan player, but I don't think, if I'm a team owner, I won't bring him for उसको immediately team में नहीं लाऊंगा. ये मेरा mindset होगा. So I feel, Chamika Karunaratne, like Satvik said about panic buy Bombay did, this is what Calcutta did. Calcutta did a lot of panic buy. Pratham Singh shouldn't have been bought. There are other players, other batsmen who could have gone. There was Rajat Patidar. There were Virat Singh. Virat Singh is a left-handed batsman. Okay, I'm getting biased because he's a very good friend of mine. So that is another thing. But yeah, so Pratham Singh, I don't understand. Ashok Sharma, I don't know what they have seen. Maybe the other team also, they could have seen something else. Abhijit Tomar, okay, I don't know much about Abhijit Tomar. Ashok Sharma, I've not heard a lot about. Rasik Dar, I felt was a good buy. Rasik Dar played for Mumbai Indians 2019, the first game against Delhi. But then that age fraud happened. The age problem happened, so he was suspended for a year or two. But he's a good buy, I think. Rasikdar, a good buy. So, but if you ask me, I'm not very impressed with this team. If you ask me to give me a point, 5 on 10.
Yeah,
But
and
I think I'll just add
yeah, yes,
just one question, as in because I can't see the opening pair. I mean, are they heavily reliant on Ajinkya Rahane, or I mean, somewhere I'm thinking that they might get there again the panic buy and they might try to sign Jason Roy, who surprisingly got unsold. But
No, Jason Roy is
again,
bought by Gujarat.
Jason Roy is bought by
Jason Roy is
Gujarat.
in.
Yeah.
oh,
they might go for
so
Alex Hales.
Alex
Yeah,
Hale,
Alex.
sorry, yeah, my
Yeah.
bad. Alex Hale. So
Kunjan put a
yeah,
very
so
good point about. I'm so sorry, Kunjan. Ajinkya Rahane. We were talking about this in the morning, and Ajinkya Rahane was actually approached by KKR when he was in Delhi last season. That can you swap him? I don't know who they were offering, but they wanted to swap him. So they want Ajinkya Rahane. Maybe in the leadership team, maybe भाई थोड़ा सा समझा दो कैसे किसको क्या करना है. Maybe that is the mindset. But I hope, if Ajinkya Rahane is there, Ajinkya Rahane should go on to help
Yes,
the younger players. Maybe rub experience. Obviously, an India captain, an India Test captain. He has captained India in limited overs. He has the experience. So yeah, you should respect him.
yeah. Just before we move on to SRH, one thing that Shreyas Iyer had in DC and does not have right now here is the immense amount of experience that was there in DC, so that he could be helped in his captaincy role. Now he obviously has matured in his captaincy and he will make decisions on his own. But currently, what KKR had to do was form a core around Shreyas, and that core had to be experienced. People who could go to Shreyas Iyer and say, ki, see, I think this is where you are going wrong, this is where you can do it right. So this is how you should be going around. So then, if you want to do it now, then again, Ajinkya Rahane has to be in the 11 so that he can walk up to Shreyas Iyer and
Yes.
tell him things when Shreyas Iyer looks a bit lost. Okay,
You know,
so
when Shreyas captained DC in 2020, when DC had reached the finals, we won't say Shreyas Iyer, but the entire DC, worked as a unit there. We can't see that unit here in the KKR lineup this time. So
yes,
Shreyas Iyer, even though will be a very good captain, he needs a unit to perform with. This is not like
yeah,
some underdog story we are talking about. He needs to have some unit to work with. So maybe Prashant has made a good point at Ajinkya Rahane. That's why, because he may have some partner to just go to when he is in a crunch situation.
yes,
So
yes.
so that's a very worrying sign for KKR, and sad for that would be very sad for Shreyas May. Matlab, at one team he went and he got a captaincy experience, but the team around him is not so good.
Let's move on to SRH. Let's race through SRH. I would say
Yeah.
Yeah.
quickly. So
Yes.
what they have bought, I'll add up names if they have bought any further since we started the stream. But Kunjan, would you like to go first?
yeah, I think again, like the whole discussion was around Nicholas Puran and what did they see in him? Because again, like if you look at his again how he performed last year, it wasn't that good, and it's been shown in Delhi. The way Delhi purchased it really showed that okay, Nicholas Puran didn't fulfill what they were actually looking for. And I think in terms for Sunrisers, again, if you look at around, they lost Warner. Who are they replacing it with? It's a big question mark. They have gone with Romario, who's also good, but again, Rahul Tripathi was a steal for me because I think they got that from KKR. They snatched it from KKR. KKR were really heavily reliant on. They thought that okay, we might get him, but I think that Marco Jansen, I feel again has been a great signing, but Aiden Markram, I think he has been a steal for 2.6
Yes.
crores. He has been, and I think that's where Sunrisers are going to look at him and be like, okay, we got him, we got Sean Abbott, we also got Shreyas Gopal as well, who has done a good decent performance, and I think Shashank Singh and for me Suchit are going to be those underrated ones, which give them the depth.
Yeah. Before I move on to any of the other three, one thing they have lacked, they have missed this time, and they will miss this time, could be that they could not find a like for like replacement for Rashid Khan. Someone who like goes in and when he bowls at you, you don't get more than 5 runs per over, and he will guarantee you a couple of wickets. That is what I see missing here. Marco Jansen, yes, great buy. Mumbai was going for him, but by then Jofra Archer आया नहीं था दोबारा. So Mumbai was restricting themselves. I thought one more bid here and there, and maybe Mumbai could have got him at 4.4 or 4.6, but I don't know. Again, 20 players done, 5 more to go if they want to fill it, and 2.6 crores. This was a team that was very lethargic in the first half of the day yesterday, and this was the team that finished itself, like finished 15 players first. It was faster post that, and the way they have been aggressive in what they want, they have been very clear. I think they have gone in with a bowling side that is very good. We know SRH to be a bowling heavy side, but this time their batting also, their middle order, which was non-existent. This is what I have been saying for the last 3 years. SRH has had a non-existent middle order. There, it was very inexperienced, and it was not. You have a couple of inexperienced guys, it's okay. Your complete middle order cannot be inexperienced guys. So that was what they were missing, and they have filled it very well this time. Yeah, anyone
Uh,
would like to
Yeah.
take it up?
yeah, yeah. I'll just
Uh,
Satvik.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, Satvik, go ahead, go
Please
ahead.
go on, go on. No,
All
you
right.
go on. Go
Yeah.
on.
So uh, so I
Okay,
had
okay. Yashasvi,
yeah.
just before you come in, Kunjan has to leave us. He has something important. So yes, Kunjan, thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed it. And Kunjan ka birthday aaj.
अरे भाई,
So
happy birthday.
happy birthday, Kunjan.
Thank you guys so much. It was lovely talking to you,
Enjoy.
Yashasvi,
Hope
Vanshad,
to see you more
Satvik.
now.
It was great to see you guys again. I think we'll meet back once the IPL season starts running, and I hope to join more of such events as well. I'll take a leave.
Yeah.
Bye bye, guys. Take care.
Go, bro. Enjoy.
Good luck. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I have had a fair experience of this team as well. And I felt this time again they went for that Indian pace bowling. So happy that they brought Bhuvneshwar and Natarajan back. They have Umran Malik already. They got Kartik Tyagi, and they also got, just give me a moment. They also got, I think, Saurabh. They got Saurabh Dubey. Yes, they got Saurabh Dubey, who is from UP. Yeah, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, sorry, he's from Vidarbha. He's from Vidarbha. This Saurabh Dubey, good player, and they have got Ravi Kumar Samarth, Shashank Singh, Shreyas Gopal. Shashank Singh was with Rajasthan Royals a couple of seasons back. Ravi Kumar Samarth has been a big name in Indian domestic circuit. He's played for Karnataka. People know Ravi Kumar Samarth. Ravi Kumar Samarth is a good top order bat. He's done well. And if you talk about the foreign players, I'm talking a lot about the domestic. Now let's shift to international players, internationally acclaimed players. I was very happy seeing Washington Sundar there. Now, what can actually happen is Washington Sundar can bat anywhere of the order. There is a saying just that Ravi Shastri could bat from 1 to 10 anywhere, and he was a left arm spinner as well. Washington Sundar kahin bhi bhej do, he can bat. He has opened for RCB, he opens for Tamil Nadu. He's a good player. You can give him an opportunity, see how he does. That was a very good buy, I'm honestly saying. Washington Sundar, very good buy. Middle order looks better. You have Tripathi there, you'll have Makram there, you'll have Puran there, you'll have Abdul Samad, Abhishek Sharma. So team is looking decent, not very good. The depth might look a little, little bleak, but okay. This team is looking okay. Kartik Tyagi is also there. I hope they give Kartik Tyagi a chance. And if there is some physical issues to Mr. Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Natarajan, then you know who you have to go to, and you know what he can do. He can defend 3 runs in the final over as well.
But only if he is bowling to the Punjab batsman. If there is any
You
other
never.
team, he might not be able to
Punjab
defend three
has
runs.
Punjab is
At
not the
least
same
he'll try.
Punjab now, but we will move on to Punjab.
Yeah, no, but I just
Yeah,
have one comment to make. If you look at this Hyderabad side, this looks like a team that Kane Williamson leads. We talk about New Zealand. New Zealand is not a team with flashy players. It does not have the
Yeah,
Kohlis of the world, and it does not have the Warners of the world. It is a simple team with each player having his own specific role. They don't have to score 300, 400 runs. They have to win small battles.
correct.
Whenever they have to face those obstacles in a game. So this side, they have players who can win those battles for you. Aiden Markram is definitely a steal. He was the first plus player to sell today, and I was wondering why did he sell for just 2.6? He should have sold for more. He's a player who solves both your opening problems and your middle order problems, and can give you a couple of overs if you don't have a sixth bowling option. So this is like you spend so much on Liam Livingston, who probably does the same things as Aiden Markram does. He's probably more aggressive if that's how we perceive him. But Aiden Markram is definitely more consistent. So he's a better buy. I think he's a steal. He definitely is. Plus, he's a captain material. So to
Correct.
has a
Yeah.
player of Aiden Markram's stature to be in a lineup will definitely help Kane Williamson, because he does not have David Warner, he does not have Johnny Bairstow. But I think he's feeling much better about it now that he doesn't have those players, because if you look at his captaincy record in 2018, 19, he did not lead in 20, so he did not lead in 2020. He led in 18, 19, and 21. 2018 team was nothing. It still ended up being the best team of that league that year. They lost eventually in the finals, but compared to this team, that team is nothing. So this team is perfect. It is structured for Kane Williamson's leadership, and probably let's see how it plays off if Nicholas Puran is good enough. But they have Washington Sundar. I think that's a good buy as well. Someone who can bowl in the power play, can bowl in the middle overs, and can bat wherever as a floater as well.
There's one problem in this team. Apart from Bhuvneshwar Kumar, there's no Indian player who can, actually be the part of the leadership unit. I don't find anybody else going there and, talking to the youngsters. Well, you'll need somebody who talks to the youngster as well, because there will be a young Priyam Garg, Suchit experience there. Ravi Kumar Samar, Saurabh Dubey, there needs to be somebody who talks to them continuously. I don't know if there is somebody, and there's Abdul Samad and Umran Malik, there needs to be somebody. They'll miss VVS Lakshman. They'll miss VVS Lakshman this time around.
Yeah.
With him going to
Yes.
NCA, they're going to miss him.
Yes. So there is no Indian stalwart in your dressing room as well now with him gone, right? So yes, that's about SRH. They have a few players they can go after. There are 2.6 crores left. Maybe one more player, an Indian player who has gone unsold, a big name. Maybe I don't know. Up to SRH, we'll see
Do they have
that
foreigners?
currently.
Do they have
Sorry,
foreigners? Enough foreigners? Do they have enough foreigners, overseas players?
they
Uh,
have
yeah, they have
Sean
six. They
Abbott.
have six. They have
They have
six.
six, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of
Williamson,
unsold
Mark.
overseas players as well. So
Yeah,
SRH
yeah, they
will
have
look
six. They
for.
have two slots left for overseas
Yeah,
as well,
two
so they
slots.
can
Yeah.
go after that. Yeah, let's see, let's see. We'll go to Punjab now. Uh, what has Punjab done?
This is
Uh,
not
they
Punjab.
What has
had
it not done? What has it
This is
not
not Punjab.
done?
This is not Punjab. I'm telling you, this is not Punjab. This is the 2014 Punjab. 2014, where they had Bailey, they had Maxwell, they had Miller, they had Mitchell Johnson, they had Lakshmipati Balaji. They had so many good players. I feel this is one of them. They have a good team. I was very excited, when I saw this guy, when I saw Jitesh Patel and Prerak Mandal Prerak Monk could get picked. Vritik Chatterjee has also been picked, if I'm not wrong, by Vritik
Yes,
Chatterjee,
yes.
Bengali. He's also been picked for by KKR. I feel sorry, by Punjab. I think they have covered their spots. They have covered the spots. They have covered everything. But again, there is going to be one problem with this team, is that do they have the mentality? Does this team has it in them to finish the games? Do they have that management who is going to back Mayank Agarwal as the captain? Are they, if you start losing games in the start, are you going to be very good to your captain? I don't know. I feel I still have some reservations for reservations against Punjab. This is a good team. You see Odion Smith. Odion Smith has done well in T10 leagues, in CPL, against India. Whatever opportunity he got, he did well. Rahul Chahar, upcoming Indian, he's played the World Cup, fantastic. Arshdeep Singh, Harpreet Baur, Raj Baba, Simran Singh, Rishi Dhawan. Rishi Dhawan had to be picked with what he has done in Vijay Hazare Trophy, and Said Mushtaq with the Himachal team had to be picked. Sandeep, homecoming for him. Ishan Poril stays. Will Ishan Poril get a game? That is a question
Yes,
mark again.
please,
See,
please give him a game.
Ishan Poril is one of those players who I any day say is very good bowler. You need to give him games. Giving him one game, he going for 30 runs in 3 overs doesn't say what he's made for. You need to give chances, and that is what CSK are known for. You see CSK, there are so many players. Mohit Sharma got a long run. Ankit Rajput had a run. There was Shardul Deepak. Everybody became a good player. So I suppose if they give them these guys a chance, so it will be fine. So I think they have covered. They have an off spinner, they have leg spinner, they have a left right opening combination. They have the proper batsman. They have in top five who can one of them who can bowl. But again, do they have the proper replacement for their foreign players? That is what I have to check once. I'm not very sure about that, if the foreign players have proper this replacement. And there's one more thing. The bowling is a little Indian heavy, what I feel. Seeing there's a Rahul Chahar, Arshdeep Singh, Harpreet Brar, Raj Baba, Ishan Porel. So it's a little Indian heavy. There's only Kagis or Abada over there. So I think they'll have to figure out something, but that is fine. Team
I,
looks
I
okay.
don't think they I don't think they want to believe in the overseas foreign bowlers anymore after what Riley Meredith and Jai Richardson did to them. I think
No,
they have
that
spent
is
on
what happens.
batting.
That
Yeah,
is
they
what you
spent
have
on
to say.
batting.
You can't spend 22 crores. You can't spend 22 crores on people who have not played in India. So that is what
Yeah, that makes sense. And the Dhoni example is great. That is one reason why I was not very worried. That's another reason I wasn't so
correct.
concerned about losing out on Shardul Thakur, because I knew you had Deepak Chahar you could bring in, and that's a CSK space attack is looking good. It's looking decent. It's a different story, but I feel Punjab, the side that they have is they're not going to miss. Rahul is a big player, but the
No,
fact that you now have Dhawan, you have Agarwal, to followed by Johnny Bairstow, you have done a decent job of making sure that you won't miss Rahul. And to bring in Rahul Chahar in place of Ravi Bishnoi, I would say he's not replacing Ravi Bishnoi, he's making his own place, and that's a brilliant buy. That is a brilliant purchase because Rahul Chahar has been consistent. He's been phenomenal. He's been much better than Yuzi in the last two IPL seasons. I
correct.
would like to say that he's been great. So you get Rahul Chahar, you are not going to be sad about losing out on Ravi Bishnoi, who was phenomenal for you, because you have Rahul Chahar. So that is, I feel, that is the best purchase, and that too just a little over 5 crores. I mean, has to be your premium pick across the last 2 days of auction.
Yeah,
Liam
just
Livingston. Yes, sorry, go on.
yeah. So yeah, complete your point about Liam Livingston, please.
So I just felt Liam Livingston was a little too much. I just felt a
Yes,
little too much. They could have gone for n number of other options. They still can. They just have 7.3. So they have 7.3 crores. It's not like they don't have the money, but there were still players
5.3. They
after
just
Liam
have
Livingston.
5.3 now. They just have 5.3.
5.3. Okay, I was just reading out of the Excel sheet. But 5.3 is still a good amount, especially when you're going to the unsold pack. But again, why would you want to go to the unsold pack, right? So, but there were good options after Liam Livingston, players that they could have gone for. I felt they could have gone for a Van der Dusen. I was thinking there will be a auction battle between CSK and Punjab for Van der Dusen or Conway.
Correct.
Neither of it happened. CSK picked Conway very easily, and no one bought Van der Dusen. So I think otherwise it's again the concern going into this tournament would be that their number four, number five is again a lacking position, but they have a number six, number seven. Rishi Dhawan is again a very underrated cricketer. I must say that
Correct. Yeah.
he could give you something with the bat. He could give you something with the ball. He was part, I think, of Mumbai Indians and Punjab long time back in the early
Hmm.
2010s. He couldn't prove his mettle much, but he's certainly a player with a lot of lot of steel work in him to go and get wickets as well as get you those runs. So that is again a smart buy. Let's see how good he turns out to be.
Yeah, just one point before we move on to the next team. They only have 4 overseas slots filled right now.
Correct. Hmm.
Okay, and they have 5.3 crores. So they are going to go for another two at least overseas players. If their budget allows more, then they'll go for more. I think Mayank Agarwal might be like is the most likely choice to be their skipper. But if they are still looking for someone else who is much better than Mayank Agarwal, then might not be the best player, but might be a better captain. I think that is Steve Smith. Stocks have gone ridiculously down compared to what it was last a few years ago. But I don't know, unlikely, but might be a buy that they go for.
You know what I feel is, if you have retained a player for 12 crores and you do not have anybody else retained, anybody else apart from him, you have retained an uncapped player, give him the captaincy, give Mayank Agarwal the captaincy. He has captained you once against KKR when KL Rahul had that appendix surgery. Give him the
Yeah.
captaincy, see how he does. It's not a problem. You need to give him the captaincy, see how he does. He can do well, and I hope he continue. He plays well, captains well. He's a good leader. He has a calm head on his shoulder. That is one thing about him. So nothing to worry.
Yes. Now we'll go to RR and I'll go to Vanshaj for this. This is a team that has
Hmm.
surprised me the most, and I had a chat with Vanshaj. Vanshaj is also pleasantly surprised with how they have performed, and he was surprised that I had put a story for RR, appreciating them. So yes, Vanshaj.
So when Rajasthan Royals started their auction on day one, I was pretty impressed by the buys they did. First of all, Shimran Hetmeyer, good buy considering that Rajasthan Royals middle order was quite inconsistent. Sometimes it was like Livingston, sometimes it is Glenn Phillips. So on that front, a very good purchase when it comes to Shimron Hetmeyer. A very good purchase Trent Bolt. He would give you a leading, he can be that leading bowler for you. Uh, now coming to the opening spot, which is under the scanners for a long time since yesterday. If you had Yashasvi Jaiswal and Josh Butler, and in spite of that, you go for Devdutt Padikkal. So that shows that maybe you're looking for Josh Butler as a middle order player. But personally, if you ask me, I am not that much of a fan of Josh Butler in the middle order in a T20 game at least. Josh Butler in a T20 franchise has to be on the top order. So if that happens, then what are you going to do with Devdutt Padikkal? So that is a bit iffy question. Uh, Apart from Trent Bolt, I don't see a good fast bowler as a partner for him. Spin department really good.
Oh,
Ashwin
you
and
missed
Chahal.
Prasidh Krishna.
Prasidh
I
Krishna
just
and Trent
wanted
Bolt.
to
Okay,
add
so
just one single point that Rajasthan Royals owner has mentioned that Devdutt Padikkal bat at number three and Samson at number four. So Butler and Jaiswal will open. They've got Padikkal at three and Samson at four. So that is the lineup that they're looking.
that can be tried. Yes. If you like talk about the spin department, it's the best I would say. Ashwin and Chahal bowling in tandem would be a really interesting side to watch for Rajasthan Royals.
This is a
So
dream, This is a dream. This is
yeah,
a dream if you
dream
get
spin
Ashwin
duo.
and Chahal together.
And now Prashant can finally be, at peace when Rajasthan Royals has finally, moved on from that leg spinner facility for me.
Fantasy. Leg
भाई
spinner
लेकिन
fantasy.
इनको प्लेयर पहले खत्म करना है. इनको पहले प्लेयर खत्म करना है. 4 प्लेयर और चाहिए मिनिमम के लिए.
Yeah.
They only have 14 players. ये तो अलग टीम है, ये अलग सो रहे हैं. ये और
See,
Gujarat doesn't have a wicket keeper. These guys haven't completed their minimum slot also.
RR
I
has
don't
been
know
getting
what.
quite slow from when from day one to day two. If you compare, na, Day two, mein Rajasthan has pretty been the team which has been napping, I would say.
I
The
don't
thing is,
But they're
honestly.
like the 2018 KKR. They're like the 2018
yeah,
KKR, and
exactly.
they're doing a
Yes.
good job of it. They're doing a very good job
They are
of it.
doing a good
The
job. They're
only
doing better
concern,
than KKR.
yeah.
Yes.
So the only
See,
concern I
the thing
see
is,
is,
yeah.
yeah, there's one concern that I'll present, and I'll take a step back. That they have two for overseas paces in Trent Bolt and Obed McCoy, and both give you similar offerings.
Yes, that's
Both
true.
are left arm seamers. Trent Bolt is much quicker, but McCoy gives you more bounce. It's not like Bolt cannot offer that to you, but McCoy is limited to that. Bolt is, of course, a much better bowler. They could have looked for a different prospect there. Probably now that they're getting into the unsold pack, they might just get one or two players here and there. Like Yashashvi also said, the last bit is just formality for them to fill the blocks. But that is one observation. I felt they could have looked for someone else.
Yeah, I'll just make my point and then we'll move on. We have some time constraint. Sorry. So the thing is that they have made what they did with, yeah, like you said, that KKR 2018. They have made only 14. They have took only 14 players, but they have a very good 11 from these 14 players. And if their best 11, they have made their best 11 already. Now they need to add those backup options to their lineup, and plus they have enough money left. The thing why they haven't gone slow, as Vanshad said, the thing that they have gone wrong is उनको अभी भी बड़े बड़े नाम चाहिए. They are going after big established names and they're going till about 4.5, 5.5 crores. So if you go till 5.5 crores, then you have nothing left for the rest of the players to even complete your quota. So they
That
need to
blend of
stop
youth
after
and
a certain
experience
threshold.
isn't being seen here, basically.
Yeah, and they have to stop after a certain threshold, and there the other teams come up and overpower you because they have more money left in their kitty. So that is where they lost on Jofra Archer. That is where they lost on many other players that they had before. So I think that is the problem, and they have enough money to complete their minimum quota. They might even go to 20-21 players. So yes, RR is done. Let's go to the new two teams now. Just as we already mentioned, these guys are lacking a wicket keeper. Apart from that, Yashasvi, how is the team?
Yeah. I'm honestly telling you, I'm not impressed with Gujarat. I'm not impressed with Gujarat. Gujarat, I really feel is not good. I'm very happy that I'm only happy with two couple of things. They got Lockie Ferguson one, second, an uncapped player in Abhinav Sadrangani, Abhinav Manohar. He plays for Abhinav Manohar. I also got confused. Who is Sadrangani? I knew Abhinav Manohar. So Abhinav Manohar plays for Karnataka. Abhinav Manohar is one of those players who can finish the game for you. So maybe someone, and he's going to play in the 11. That seeing this team, 100% is playing in the 11. Noor Ahmed, you understand that Noor Ahmed has been brought only because of Rashid Khan telling and approaching the owners by him. So it seems Pradeep Sangwan has been the second. Has it started the second slot?
They're about to begin with the unsold list. About to, as in, I can see it on my screen that Charu Sharma is here and they are taking out the list for the
Yeah,
All
unsold
the
right.
list.
first name that has come up is David Miller. Maybe RR is going up there.
Maybe somewhere,
Maybe.
he could go somewhere. Yes. So first of all, Gujarat Titans, they look very out of balance. This team is looking out of balance. I have really, it feels, it is Ashish Nehra, Gary Kirsten back together once again, like they did with what is that, RCB. So not impressed. Maybe after the auction, maybe I hope my idea changes.
Yeah. Let's see. Apart from that, they have Jason Roy, and I think Shubman Gill and Jason Roy fit in their opening combination. Aljari Joseph, I think, is a good buy.
Yeah.
Jayant Yadav is a decent buy. Vijay Shankar, okay, I'm not a big fan of Vijay Shankar, so I won't comment there. Lockie Ferguson, great buy. Mohammad Shami is a very good buy, and
What do you
I
guys have
think
to
Mohammad
think
Shami.
about Gujarat Titans ready to spend 9 crores on Rahul Tewatia?
Yeah, ridiculous.
I was pretty confused. If you have players who can replace Rahul Tewatia as a both as an all like leg spinner or a batsman, because we consider Rahul Tewatia as an all rounder. So you had much better options to choose from, and giving 9 crores for Rahul Tewatia, I honestly don't understand what was the strategy behind
I
it.
think it was just the auction dynamics. I think at that
Yeah,
point,
yeah.
when both the teams looked at their 11, they realized they need someone who could fit not play very well, but just fill the 6-7 position, number 6, number 7
Yeah.
position, so
And still
that the
there is a
headache is
slight
over.
confusion between
I
like
just,
who will be the spinning partner with Rashid Khan. I just
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry,
So you just
I'm
gotta
sorry.
have to think
Just
about it.
I'll just add one point. Just add one point here. You know, being Hardik Pandya being captain, Hardik Pandya is trying to think like MS. He wants an all-rounder. He wants an all-rounder heavy team, and you can see that there's a Dominic Drakes there. There's Vijay Shankar there. There's he himself is there. Rahul Tewate. He's trying to make a team which is where he has options. So and if someone is very close to Mahendra Singh Dhoni, he tries to replicate him. I feel there's a little bit of replication of Mahendra Singh Dhoni over here.
Yeah, see their lower middle order. Just one last point, then we'll move to Lucknow Super Giants. Their lower middle order is very strong. You have Hardik Pandya, then you have Rashid Khan, and then you have Rahul Tewatia as well. Good three names who can like Rashid Khan. All three on their day, and imagine a day where all three of them work together and work very well. That would mean like 60, 70 runs only from these three at the end, like in the last 3, 4 overs. You look at the impact that they are creating. But apart from that, you look at their openers are sorted. You have 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe very good. But that 3, 4, 5, those crucial slots in your batting lineup, I'm not sure who is fitting in there. So Vijay Shankar coming in, a Jayant Yadav, I don't know. But
Jayant
yeah,
Yadav can't bat. Jayant Yadav is a
So
test batsman.
Gujarat is going heavy on David
Yeah,
Miller.
he's
So
going
David
heavy
that
Miller,
on him.
tells
yeah.
you why that 3, 4, 5 is something that they're looking at. They're
Ashish
going
Nehra is
heavy on David
understanding.
Miller. And plus,
Nehra is
I think
understanding. There is a
yeah, Rajasthan and Gujarat have less foreigners as well. They just have 4 or 5 overseas players
four,
that
four,
to
four,
fill
four.
that bracket as well.
Yeah, but I don't think David Miller is the way to go. But anyway, we'll see.
They don't
David
have
Miller is like,
options.
again, as I said, the three players that I mentioned already, these are inconsistent players. Hardik Pandya has the best consistency out of Hardik Pandya, Rashid Khan, and Rahul Tewate. Okay. And then if you are adding David Miller, he's highly inconsistent. So you have inconsistency looming over your entire middle order then if you are going for David Miller as well. So not sure what their strategy is. Anyway, let's go to LSG. LSG has done a much better job than Gujarat. Okay, and
LSG, I tell you something about LSG. When I see this team, I feel happy. LSG have done well. LSG, Delhi, Rajasthan, CSK, these teams have done well. The LSG, if you see, you feel there is a Gautam Gambhir there who has told them, listen, we have to buy these players, and he has gone for them. He has gone for, see, who all he has gone for? Avish. I have never seen Gautam Gambhir doing a punch. When they bought Avish, he was like, yes, come on, so emotional. They were Jason Holder, fantastic. Krunal and Deepak Hooda playing together, no comment. Very good. Manish Pandey, excellent. Manish Pandey coming from that team, the 2014 team. Manan Vohra, I don't know, but I've heard this. Gautam Gambhir is very affectionate towards Manan Vohra. Shahbaz Nadeem, I'm so grateful that Shahbaz Nadeem is bought. Ankit Rajput, goodbye. Ankit Rajput again, that affection for affection. Dushmanta Chamira, goodbye. This team looks good. This team looks good.
yeah,
They have Quinton de Kock. They have two
you know
wicket
for
keepers.
Yashasvi and for the viewers, day before yesterday we were doing a live stream regarding the auction, and maybe I just jinxed it. I had just hinted at the possibility of Gujarat Titans buying Krunal and Deepak Hooda both, and
Yes,
the same was done by Lucknow now, and the same as done by Lucknow. Maybe I have jinxed it, but I don't think that should be a problem. Even there is the camaraderie between Josh Butler and Ravi Ashwin going on. Butler is seen saying
no,
that I will be inside my crease this time.
I'm very happy that they bought Karan Sharma as well. Karan Sharma leaves UP team. He's a
Yes.
UP white ball captain. I don't know if he will be captaining in the Ranji Trophy as well, but he's a very good player, has good understanding, and maybe in the future when the teams go to Lucknow, so he'll be a very important figure.
I like how I'm like I can't like it, but looking at the impact that the uh, stocks of K Gautam has had from 9 crores is down to 90 lakhs, 0.9 crores. So that
You know
is a
that that
little
hap-
sad.
that happens. That happens in an auction. Auction is very dynamic. कोई that is what if this guy, if Jai Richardson comes now, Jai Richardson will go for nothing. So
Yeah.
that is what happens. This is auction. You have to understand.
If
You have to
you
believe.
ask me, like, how did you like Lucknow Super Giants at the first glance? So if you sit and try to make a playing 11 of Lucknow Super Giants right now, you will be like, oh wow, this is a
Yeah.
proper T20 team. You know all bases have been covered. Even if it's Krunal Pandya at 6 or 7, you won't mind. Even if Krunal Pandya isn't not in his prime form, you won't mind because we know that there are others around him who will just take up for that role.
Yeah,
So
you look at let's
yeah.
let's make a very small, like, we'll take very less time.
Yes.
You have your AL, then you have with
Quinton.
him
Week-off.
Quinton.
Quinton.
Manish Pandey.
At 3 you have
Manish Pandey.
Manish Pandey,
Okay.
yes, at 3.
Stoinis,
Stoinis, Huda.
Stoinis.
Huda,
You have
or Pandya.
Huda,
Pandya can come at 6. Yeah.
Pandya can come at 6.
Holder.
You Holder.
Older.
You have at 8. You will have 8. You can have Krishnappa Gautam or Shehbaz Nadeem.
But since you are playing Ravi Bishnoi already, then
Ravi Krishna, अभी एक leg spin, एक off spin,
Pandya है ना, Krunal Pandya is there, right?
You'll have Mark
Maybe
Wood.
Dushmantak Chamira at number 8.
Mark Wood, and Avesh Khan.
Yeah, Mark Wood and Chamira are like two similar kind of players.
Yeah, 11.
And what Lucknow has done well, you know what? There is some, unsurety about English players' participation in this year's league. So if Mark Wood goes, you have a certain Dushmantak Chamira who can replace him, like for like replacement.
Correct.
And look at their overseas slots. There is Stoinis, Holder, Wood, Dickok, Dushmanta Chamira, and Kyle Mayers. So 6 are
And
done.
Miller.
2.
And Miller has been bought by Gujarat Titans.
Oh,
Shakib has gone unsold again. KKR has bid for Sam Billings. So teams are understanding.
okay. So Billings may open with Venkatesh Iyer. That's what.
Okay, just one thing. Time constraint, as Prasham also said. Suresh Raina sold unsold.
I think he's at 2 crores now. I would have loved to see him playing for Lucknow, but since Lucknow only has 2.2 crores left, they might not go for him. So he'll go unsold.
I'll tell you one thing. When there needs to be an understanding in players as well. When you know you're not in the prime form, you're not playing domestic cricket. Robin Uthappa plays domestic cricket for Kerala, so that is why he's being bought. With him not being bought, everybody was like, "Kyun kharide hain isko?" Obviously, what is the use? CSK also don't find a use. So
Yeah.
he should have lowered his price. He should have gone to 1 crore or 75 lakh. Okay, 1 crore would have been better. I understand. Big player, captain the team, Mr. IPL. All these things come, reputation and all come. But yeah. So all in all, it's good. I just hope few untapped players get bought.
CSK.
I'm telling you.
CSK is bidding
CSK?
for Riddhiman Saha.
That was in. That was coming. That was coming. That had to come somewhere. Riddhiman Saha, it's 1.6 now.
Yeah, 1.9. Gujarat Titans going for Riddhiman Saha because they need a keeper,
Obviously,
right?
they need a keeper, and Riddhiman Saha can open the innings. He can be a very good fiddle. So let's see.
We were
what goes
talking
on.
about Suresh Raina, and many KKR fans were recommending that, KKR, you should go for Raina. So maybe if in the later stage KKR goes for Raina, maybe.
Look at where CSK is right now. They have 7.15 crores. There is a big chance that they'll go for Raina again. They have money.
Yeah, of course, yes. Considering the money
there
factor,
is one-
CSK is the most likely.
Dhoni is understanding that he may not play the whole season owing to his fitness. Because what I'm hearing from people at Ranchi and everywhere, like he's little unfit. He's not the old Dhoni which he was. Little unfit, but there needs to be a keeper. There needs to be Prashant Solanki. No, not many people know Prashant Solanki is a good keeper. Prashant Solanki is a good keeper. He keeps well. So let's see what happens. But I don't think Dhoni will just.
Yeah, well,
Dhoni will go
just-
for a big name.
Just a small unrelated trivia. Prashant Solanki was my batchmate in my school.
Wow.
अभी उसको बुलाओ टेस्ट ऑफ टाइम का ये करेगा promotion करें.
So KKR have bought in Sam Billings.
Yeah. Good,
Okay.
good, good.
Yeah, good. Good buy.
Yeah, Gujarat has bought Vridhiman.
See, now teams are understanding what we have been saying, what we have been complaining about, basically.
Yeah.
1.9.
Okay, so Gujarat
You know,
finally have a wicket keeper.
this part is going to be very interesting. This last part is always very interesting.
Yeah, so we'll end this stream now because we
Yes.
can't go on for the entire length of the auction. There are other
Correct.
commitments that we all have. So we'll end it here. We'll surely come back in maybe the next week and we'll discuss some things about the teams. And before the IPL, we'll do a team-wise preview of the IPL season. And we'll
Correct.
have 10 different videos coming out, in-depth coverage of what the teams look like and what their playing 11s look like. So yes, do join in for that. And people who came today, thank you so much for coming in, joining in.
Thank you.
Please let us know what you think about these teams in the comments down below. And we'll be back very soon with another live stream. Thank you so much, Yashasvi. Thank you, Vanshas, for joining in.
Thank you.
Thank you to
Thank you.
Kunjan and Satvik as well. Yes. Thank you so much for watching, everybody.